Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. There are so many things going on, but I will definitely still say that I am grateful for it all. I have been away from social media for a couple of weeks. I have been doing what I call a travel journey. It's been a very interesting February and leaning into March. And I am super excited that in January I published my first book, 30 Days to Yes to Me, The Power of No, about being kind, nurturing, optimistic, and worthy to self. I was really excited that I finished something that I had been so interested in doing for a very long time. So it's pretty exciting when you have a goal and you get it done, you check it off. And this book has opened a lot of opportunities and doors for me. I was excited to see that it was rated a bestseller. In January, I actually published the book as a paperback, and then in February, I came back and published the book as an ebook. And on February 7th, the book was number one in its category under new releases in the US and number 5 in the UK. I'm actively working now to be on the bestseller list. I always have goals, to be on the bestseller list in Canada, Mexico, and India. But when I think about the month of February and all the doors that it opened, I had the opportunity to have a lot of speaking engagements in the month of February, and I am really grateful, really grateful. So thanks for all of the people who trusted me to speak on their, platform. And if there's any of you all who are on this live tonight, or you watch the replay of this live and you know anyone that's looking for, speakers, please reach out to me. I would love to be considered. One area that I'm really focused on is, touching children. And so I'm really grateful that I've had the opportunity in February to speak in Michigan. I spoke to 3 classes. And in Shreveport, Louisiana, my hometown, I had an opportunity here toward the end of February to speak to a middle school during the Black History Month closeout. And I spoke at the 6th grade assembly, and then I also spoke at the 7th and 8th grade assembly. So I would definitely like to, thank, Jermaine for getting me the speaking opportunity in Michigan, and also Philip for getting me the speaking opportunity, in Shreveport. And I also had the opportunity, I retired from IBM in August of last year, and I went back to IBM on the last day of February to close out Black History Month with IBM. So it was such a blessing to be back with my IBM colleagues to kind of close out Black History Month with them as well. And again, it was talking about my book, 30 Days to Yes to Me. So if you have not got my book, it is still on Amazon. You can get a paperback or you can get an ebook. And hopefully sometime this month, no later than next month, I'll have an audio version available as well. So for those of you who's asked me about the audio version, it is coming soon. This is so super funny because I rarely go live, and I see a few people on. So hi sis, hi Caritha, I love you so very much. Hi Tasha, Mobile, Alabama in the house. Good to see you. And hi, Monica. How are you? Another Alabama in the house. I have to get to, Mobile soon. I was just coming on live, and again, I rarely go live. I didn't even know if I was doing it correctly. Oh, my uncle is on. Hi, Uncle Dan. Love you, love you, love you. But I have been off social media for the last couple of weeks because I've been on a travel journey. And I was getting phone calls saying, "Are you okay?" And people were calling me. And I guess a little while when I was out of the country, I had my phone off. So I'll give you guys an update of what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks. Hey, Chad, D, you in the house? So in February, I would say that I started the month out in Michigan. And for those of you who know me, I don't like cold weather. And so I flew to Michigan by myself, and I was praying that the weather would be kind. And at the beginning of February, the weather was very, very kind. I drove in and went to speak at a middle school, and I spoke to three different classes. I spoke two different times, but to three classes in total. And then the next day, I had the opportunity to represent my book. I had a vendor spot set up, and also I got a chance to talk to the audience. It was representatives of judges, pastors, preachers, and attorneys at an event in Michigan. Thanks for Trey Shale for allowing me, that platform and that opportunity. And I was so super excited. She gave me and a fellow author an opportunity to speak and to share our book. And I sold out at that event. So thank you so much, sis, for getting me at your event, giving me that platform. I'm really grateful for all of the love that everybody's showing me. So then I guess my husband, my mother-in-law, we traveled to New Orleans to celebrate my brother-in-law's birthday. And that was super fun in New Orleans because I love Louisiana. And then we came back home, and then we went out on a 15-day travel journey. And when I say we, it was my husband, my mother-in-law, and I. And so we had lots of laughs. And my husband told me today that he put a Facebook post out there basically saying, gosh, can he believe that he's had to be with two crazy people for these last 15 days? And I was like, we're probably the same ones. He's probably the insane one, but that's a whole nother story. So we left and we went to Shreveport. I had the opportunity to speak at two assemblies at a Caddo Parish school, and I'll post more on some of the specifics here as soon as I get organized back from all of my, travels. And then my husband and I got a chance to be on the same platform, our very first time ever. We spoke on a panel for the State of Black Shreveport, and we actually got a chance to sit side by side. So that was a really good experience for first time for us to be like in a working setting together. And it was really special since it was in my hometown. So we did that, and we hung out with my family in Shreveport. And then after we left Shreveport, we rented a car and we drove to Houston to kind of hang out with my son and my grandbaby. And I was so sad because my niece was out of town at the time. So I thought I was going to see her, but didn't get a chance to see her. And then after we left Houston, we flew out to Los Angeles, and we spent a week with my family in Los Angeles, and it was so super fun. And unfortunately, and when I say super fun, it's always nice when you can hang out with your family. We went to Los Angeles because my cousin had passed, and so but we still made the best of it. You just never know. And so we definitely need to make sure that we're enjoying life and making those memories, because you just never know when it can be your last time, your last moment. So we have to make memories and make every day count. So even though we were there to celebrate his life, his passing, we as a family enjoyed the time that we were able to be together. And it was nice that, my husband was there, my mother-in-law was there with, my family from Los Angeles. And then from Los Angeles, my mother-in-law, my husband and I, we went on a cruise, and we went to Catalina Island, and we also went to Ensenada, Mexico. That was my first time ever hearing of Ensenada, and there was not much to see in Ensenada, Mexico, but it was just good to, just be together. And I love cruises, so we had gone on a cruise. So we had lots of fun on the cruise. Hey Terry, I got all these Mobile, Alabama people on this live. Hey y'all, miss you guys. Hope all is well. I was just kind of hanging out and saying that since I was getting some phone calls to say, are you okay? I haven't seen you on Facebook. And then I had some friends that I forgot to tell them that I was going out of the country for a little while, and I really wanted just to disconnect. So, as we were traveling, I was working all the way until February 29th, and then I took just days of just relaxing. And as soon as I got on that cruise ship, and Terry, Tasha, Monica, you guys can relate. I got on that Lido deck and I turned my phone off immediately. And I did not turn my phone back on until we landed, or the cruise ship. I didn't even turn it on when the cruise ship landed back in the States on Friday. I waited until we were on our way to the airport before I even turned my phone back on. And then I immediately called. I think I called my mom first, then my brother, then my dad, and then my son. And out of all of those, my son was the most excited to hear from me. And I thought it would be my mom, but my son was super excited. And I guess, now since we don't live close, he is excited when I call, since I try not to bug him and call him every day, even though I want to call him every 10 minutes. Hey, Tracy, how are you doing? I'm telling you, I think we got Alabama just all represented all across the space. What does Monica say? Yes, ma'am. Nothing like relaxing on a cruise. Total disconnect from reality. Oh my goodness, it is. I just love that disconnect time. But what happened was, I guess I forgot to tell some people that I talk to frequently that I was, going. I've had such a busy schedule. And, one of my friends, she had hit me up on, she had called me, she had texted me, she didn't hear from me, so she sent me an email. She was like, are you okay? And I was like, oh my God, I hate that I had her worried, but it was really nice to see that there was, concern, and I had some other concern too. Hey, Pastor Al, how are you? I missed you when we were in Shreveport here a couple of weeks ago. We actually went to church service that Sunday at your old stomping ground, Mount Olive Baptist Church. So it was a blessing to, spend time and be at church with my family while in Shreveport. So my parents go to Mount Olive. And so we visited Mount Olive, my husband and I, on that Sunday. And I also got a chance. I've been getting so much love, from so many people on my book. And Pastor Kimball, the pastor of Mount Olive Baptist Church, has shown me tremendous amount of love promoting my book. And so I was happy that I was in town locally where I could tell him face to face how much I thank him for that. People don't have to be kind. And so I always like to make sure I don't take anything for granted. And so I definitely appreciate all of the love and support from everyone. Yeah, we missed you, Pastor Al. I knew I probably wouldn't necessarily see you at church, but I definitely had meant to at least give you a call. And I was thinking maybe I could have caught up with you, but time just kind of flew. We were in town for the State of Black Shreveport, which was that Friday night and Saturday night. And then we were able to kind of hang out with family and do some other things. The State of Black Shreveport, I would like to definitely thank Lynn Carthon and Candace and the whole committee for selecting me to be on that panel. And then I recruited my husband to also be on that panel as well, because I knew that these would be topics that would be near and dear to his heart, and maybe could give some different perspectives to some things to kind of consider, that as we begin to think about how we can work together to unify, to elevate Shreveport to the next level. And I know everybody's super excited about the production facility that 50 Cent is opening in Shreveport. And so as Arville began to talk about, that more, and talking about other things that we need to do in Shreveport, it was just, totally amazing. So I know that the city of Shreveport should be really excited about the opportunities that big deal with 50 Cent will bring, to the city. So I'm looking to see other great things that, happens in Shreveport. And even though I've had the opportunity to travel so many places and be in so many different environments, including global cities, I would definitely say that I am very proud to be from Shreveport, Louisiana. And I'm always excited when I have the opportunity to get back home. It's funny too. I was going to say that, my book has been opening, so many doors for me. And as I'm now trying to focus on being a bestseller in Mexico, Canada, and India, I was excited to see, even though I had been gone for, 15 days, that my following on these social media platforms keep growing and growing and growing. And, that's a blessing. So thank you guys so much for, the continued support. And I may start going live a little more frequently after I figure out how all this works. Tonight, I thought I would just do a test case to just kind of hop on and just, chat and, see what's up, and continue to send some positive vibes along the way as we wrap up, or we start a new week. This is a new week. We're in the month of March. And I would tell you today at church, so we go to the First Baptist of Glenarden here, and Pastor Jenkins, he was on fire today. He's been teaching us this entire year about being better disciples, and how to help lead people to Christ. And today he kind of focused on, what do you do when you or you're talking to someone who has backslidden. And so he preached from 1 John verse 9. And so that scripture, as he broke it down, it was, so powerful. And then he got really happy when he was kind of talking about how, God will make you clean inside. And he broke down the Hezekiah Walker song, and the whole church kind of got into that with the band and the choir. It was, totally an amazing experience. I missed church last Sunday, so this Sunday to be back in that house. But then 2 Sundays ago, it was nice to be in church with, my dad, my mom, and my aunties, and my husband. And at that church experience that 2 Sundays ago, the Spirit was so filled on just the songs that Pastor Kimball said, that's enough. And so it was amazing that he had a sermon, and he didn't end up delivering the sermon because that presence of God was already in the building, and it had just done this whole amazing thing. And I was just so grateful to have been there. But I would say for these whole 15 days, really blessed to make memories with my husband and my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law is, 80 years old, and she's super fun, and she keeps me laughing. I think that when the two of us get together, I think we irritate my husband because we're always just giggling, and I just love to laugh. But doing this entire trip, and really grateful for the work that I did and the money that I was able to make while we were on these trips. from city to city. And it was just good that I had people, with me, supporting me through some of the working engagements. But I'm glad that I had an opportunity to take a break to just hang out with my grandbaby. I do have a grandbaby now. My grandbaby is, he is 7 months old. So this month he'll be 8 months old. I cannot wait till he turns 1 in July. But being that I live so far away from my grandbaby, I don't get a chance to spend as much time as I would like. And so I was just like on cloud 9 that I had the opportunity to just hang out with him. And he's just such a cutie. And he was just so sweet. I mean, he just loves to giggle. I was like, he gets that from his grandma, definitely. And so I was acting silly, and he was just giggling all over the place. And I hated to take him back home and having to catch that flight. And so I got to figure out a way where he can hang out with me for a longer period of time. And but I know I'll see him again next month as well. But it just reminds me that life is, so precious. And so when you look at the little babies and you see the life in them and the innocence, and then later, later in the week, I'm, at a funeral to celebrate the life of the passing of my, cousin. And you just never know, what may happen next. So I just encourage everyone to make those memories and to enjoy life, be thankful, know that we have to make sure that God is first, because without God, we are nothing. But what I want to do now is I want to just kind of talk about my book just a little longer. And so what I thought I would do, my book is really talking about prioritizing yourself. That in life, sometimes we get so busy. We have so many things going on, so many things to do for so many people. And sometimes we don't always prioritize ourselves. We put everybody else and everything first. There's so many balls in the air, so many things to juggle because life happens. I saw a saying or a post on Facebook where someone says, life be lifing, and that's true. Life be lifing. But I also saw a post that said, God be Godding. And I definitely stand by that there is nothing too big, for God. And so this book that I wrote is really because I found myself sometimes not necessarily prioritizing, myself. And at this stage in life, I think it's so important that we not forget ourselves, because if we don't make time for ourselves and if we're not loving ourselves and going on that personal growth journey for yourselves, then you won't be anything any good for anybody else. So my book is dedicated to all the brave souls on a journey of self-discovery. And I really am hoping that my book is a guiding light on the path for anyone that's looking for self-love. I'm hoping that, you find the courage to embrace your unique beauty, to nurture your inner strength, and to love yourself unconditionally. And may you remember the power of know, and that's KNOW. That's be kind, nurturing, optimistic, and worthy to self. And I'm really grateful that my husband actually wrote the foreword of the book. And I'll just read just a little of his foreword. It says, self-love is an innate ability to explore one's inner gift of transformative power, spirit, intimacy, awareness, flaws, uniqueness, and faith. A profound act of generosity delivered to each of us at birth by the Almighty. At a time when the demands of life and the attention of the world requires a constant validation, the profound and transformative power of self-love protects one's peace and sanity. This book is a guiding testament to a deliberate journey of embracing your inner being of love and worth. Self-love is a journey, an exploration of the inner soul, a pilgrimage of understanding and honoring worth, a gift to oneself whereby accepting yourself wholly and unconditionally, along with all the perfect imperfections. That's just a part of the foreword. And now what I want to do is to kind of talk about how the book is organized. That at first I had a longer version of the book, and I began to get feedback that, in today's world, people don't have a lot of time, and it's better to be concise. And so I was told, let's, keep the book, really short yet impactful. Make sure that it was actionable and applicable. So I tried to keep it, really short, like a really short read. And my whole goal or my prayer was for anyone who reads my book, I'm hoping that there's at least one thing in this book that inspires you or resonates with you. And so the book is kind of broken into, really 5 chapters. One is more like an introduction, which kind of talks more about, how do you measure your self-worth? And then chapter 2 gives you an opportunity to go on a transformative 30-day journey around self-love. And so for each day, for a course of 30 or 31 days, when there's an additional day in the month, it gives you ideas of things that you can consider to do to help you along this journey around self-love. And then chapter 3 are some just short stories. There's 4 characters in the short stories, so there's 4 short stories. And I have a character that starts with the letter of Know, K-N-O-W. And it tells you, little short stories. And hopefully there's something in one of those stories that will resonate with you. And it's so funny, like when my brother first wrote the book, he called me and says, "Oh, sis, I know you're this person in the one of the characters." Then he was like, "Well, maybe you're this person." And then he says, "Well, is that other character this person?" And so it's kind of interesting that I'm not any of the characters, but there are aspects of me in a couple of the different, characters. And so it was funny that, that's one of the things even my brother was trying to figure out. But then chapter 4 just gives some examples of some self-love affirmations. And I had a really good time when I was in Shreveport speaking at the middle school. And again, I spoke at Dunny Bickham. It was Dunny Bickham's middle school. Thanks to Philip Givings for getting me that opportunity. Spoke to the 6th graders at their assembly, then spoke to all the 7th and 8th graders at their assembly. And as part of my time with them, we did some affirmations together. So it was really good. I had, all the kids stand up in the auditorium and they repeated after me, some affirmations. And so in my book, I give some examples of some affirmations, but then there's probably other affirmations that you guys do for yourself. And it's important that you affirm yourself and that you don't wait for other people to do it. And then chapter 5 are just, is the conclusion. And I've had some people to say that, I first kind of read the book entirety and it was easy to do in one sitting. And then they went back to chapter 2 to try to do some of the activities that's in the, chapter 2. Other people said, well, I just waited and did it, day by day for, the transformative journey that's in chapter 2. And then, I kind of, went from there. So you have to figure out, what works, best for you. But again, I'm hoping at least there's one thing that resonates with you or that inspires you, because, life is what we make of it. And I believe that we're co-creators of our life. We can't do anything without God. Can't do anything alone. So that your co-creator is, God or whatever your higher being is. But, I definitely believe in, Jesus Christ. And He and the Lord Jesus as my Savior. So as I began to think through what I wanted to come on tonight to just chill again, there's nothing, fancy, but I wanted to just test out live and chat for a moment. But when I thought about, hey, I wanted to kind of tell people where I've been, I will get more active on social media this week, but I was so busy doing all these speaking gigs that I was trying to make sure that my mind was clear so that I could, be impactful, because as I want to make sure I do at least 20 speaking gigs this year, I am taking the assignment seriously, because as I get on these stages, I really want to make sure that I'm being led and used appropriately. So I was, having some downtime to make sure I focus, and I'm hoping that I'm making that impact that I feel like I'm, called to do. And so I was, working really, really hard until, February 29th. And that was a special day to close out Black History Month with my IBM colleagues, to be their keynote speaker at their Black History Month, talking about leveling up. And then I was the keynote to talk about my book. And so such a blessing. And, God keeps guiding, as I mentioned a post that I had seen before. So I just cannot wait to see what's next. And I have some other announcements that I'll be, putting out this week of other doors that God is continuing to open, for me. And so I'm just going to kind of walk through that. And I'm going to co-create the life that I deserve, that I want. And so let's talk about more of my book. So it says, what is self-love? Consider it an aspiration, to prioritize and honor our well-being. And I feel like that's okay. We don't feel like it's okay to put ourselves first at times. And especially, when we have so many things going on, with our families and, our jobs. But I encourage each one of us that this is our time, this is our year, this is the moment for us to make sure that we prioritize ourselves so that we can be enough, for, other people. When you harbor self-love, you show esteem for yourself. The essence lies in treating yourself with the same kindness you would extend to anyone you deeply care about. Oh, Tonique. Hey, Tonique. How are you? It's so funny. My mom, since these books are online, my mom was like, hey, people are asking me for the book, and some people don't use online. You guys need to think about people that don't use online. So I left some books with her, and I talked to her today. I said, did you sell those books? She says, I've been sold those books. And so I really do appreciate the support from my hometown. And so my mom is asking me to send her more books so that she can have some locally for the people that don't like to use, online. Some people just don't want to put their credit card information in. And I truly understand that. I used to get hacked a lot when I lived in Houston. And my information was always stolen, but it wasn't ever stolen with online. It was stolen when I used to pay at the pump with my credit card, and I was getting constantly my information was being stolen. And my bank is the one who told me to stop using pay at the pump. And when I stopped paying at the pump, I haven't had any more problems at all. And but I definitely can appreciate there's some people with their experiences just will not do online. And so I appreciate for the people. I've had other people that bought like several copies and gave them to people, but definitely appreciate my mom for having, some, hard copies handy to, to sell to people who wanted to support and just didn't want to go online. So she will be getting another shipment in Shreveport. So if other people want to buy a paperback version, my mother will have some of those copies locally, and I have a few copies as well. I've had some people that wanted me to autograph them, so they wanted to get it directly from me versus Amazon, or maybe I had a great cousin of mine who bought tons of copies through Amazon, but she had them shipped to me so that I can sign them all, because she bought some for, other friends, and then she distributed them out. My dad also did something similar. He bought like, I think 20 copies or something like that. And so when I was at home, he had me to, autograph them and address them to people that he wanted to give the book out as a gift. So really, really grateful for anyone that have bought the book. And I know there's a lot of people that's bought several books, a lot of people that's kind of shared the post. Joshua, is that Joshua? Hey, I was talking about you today, Joshua. I don't know if you remember, but when you used to live with me, one time we went to Corpus Christi, and I don't know why we went there. I don't know if EJ had a game or something. I don't know. Maybe you had a game. I don't know. But anyway, we were driving back early that Monday morning to get you guys off to school, and I was really tired. And do you remember I fell asleep? Maybe you don't know because maybe you were asleep. But I was telling them about how I could see that an angel woke me up and turned my car around. And so I just appreciate like all the things that God has done for me to protect me, because it could have been me. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, cousin. There's my beautiful cousin Tasha on. Love you, cousin. Love you, love you, love you. Hope to see you in May at the family reunion. It should be countdown time. I think we only have a couple of months now. It seems like it was so far away, so long ago, and now it's almost here. And so I'm looking forward and kind of excited now that it's in Shreveport. So I get to come back to Shreveport. I'll be coming back to Shreveport twice in May. My nephew is graduating from high school, so we will definitely be representing him. Now, unfortunately, he went to the wrong high school. He's graduating from Byrd, and I'm from Captain Shreve, so we know how those Captain Shreve Gators and the Byrd, are y'all the Yellow Jackets or something like that? But anyway, I got to go to a Byrd graduation because of my nephew, and I will be super excited, but I'll probably still wear my green and gold to a Byrd's graduation to make sure people know that I'm always a Captain Shreve Gator. And then I'll be coming back to Shreveport at the end of May for my family reunion. So again, anybody that has schools or anything that would like for me to come to speak in the month of May, while I'm already going to be in Shreveport, that would be totally appreciated and, awesome. Or any other, opportunities. I have an agent who's looking for opportunities with like some youth programs and things like that too. I definitely want to get my story out there to help to impact as many other people as I can. I feel like we all have a story out there in us, and you just never know how your story might help at least one person or maybe several people. Also in the month of February, there were so many things going on. It went by so fast. I actually got interviewed for a podcast talking about Christians in corporate. And so that was really nice. Tasha, you went to Byrd too? I didn't know you went to Byrd, cousin. What's wrong with you guys? So you, Trey, and Naguela, and now Messiah. Did Naguela go to Byrd? Oh, so Joshua, you said, yep, God is good. He blessed both you and I and watched over. Yes, God was so good. It's just like, whoo, I tell you. And I often talk about how God gives angels and puts angels in your path. And there's been so many, angels. So you're saying, yes, Naguela went to Byrd too? I tell you. But anyway, I still love you guys, cousin. And Messiah is going to be graduating from Byrd. I think his graduation is May 16th, cousin. So I cannot wait to get to his graduation. We'll be there with bells on. As some of you guys might know, I had a younger brother, and he was killed. And so he was 10 years younger than me. And he was killed a long, long time ago now. I am 52. And I want to say he was killed maybe when I was 36. I feel like I was like 36. So it's been a very long time. And so his son, Messiah, is graduating from high school. And it's going to be such a blessing. I'm about to have tears to come to, my eyes, because I am reminiscing about my little brother, right now. So my mom had 3 kids, and so I'm the middle child with my mom. And my dad actually had, 3 kids. And so with my dad, I am the middle child as well. So, I don't know, but it just has me reminiscing. And again, you guys, I'm just sitting on my sofa here in my family room, chilling, glad to be home, have not been home for a while. So I just was coming on FaceTime to just, chat and talk about, whatever. But also to thank you guys so much for the overwhelming support of my book. And I'm going to keep pushing it, and it will continue to be out there, and hope that there's at least one thing in it that blesses you guys. Hey, Tracy, how are you? Yes, it has been a long time. Yes, it's been a long, long time. So hope all is well with you. Okay, so now let's talk about some affirmations. And again, chapter 4 of my book has some affirmations. So let's go to chapter 4. Here are some examples of some affirmations that's in my book. I am somebody. And I had those middle school students repeating this because I do believe, especially that middle school years can be very challenging. I know it was challenging for me. I know it was challenging for my son. I know it was challenging for a lot of people. And so that's kind of why I'm trying to get back into as many middle schools as possible to help to encourage our young generation. Affirmations. I am somebody. I can do it. I am enough. I am deserving. I can have it. I am beautiful. I am healthy. I am a conqueror. I am worthy of love and acceptance just as I am. I deserve happiness and fulfillment in my life. I embrace my uniqueness and celebrate my authentic self. I am enough exactly as I am at this moment. I honor my needs and prioritize self-care in my daily routine. I release self-judgment and replace it with compassion and understanding. I'm deserving of forgiveness, both from others and myself. I radiate love and positivity, attracting the same into my life. I trust in my abilities and have confidence in my decision-making. I'm resilient and capable of overcoming challenges with grace. I choose to love and accept myself unconditionally, beyond any flaws or imperfections. I give myself permission to prioritize my well-being and make myself a priority. I am worthy of all the love, joy, abundance that life has to offer. I embrace my journey of self-discovery and growth, trusting that I'm always evolving into my best self. I deserve to be treated with kindness, respect, and understanding in all of my relationships. I am grateful for every part of myself, including my strengths, weaknesses, and everything in between. I let go of comparison and embrace my unique path, knowing that I am enough just as I am. I am worthy of setting healthy boundaries that honor and protect my emotional well-being. I choose to forgive myself for past mistakes and allow love and compassion to guide me forward. I am my own biggest supporter, believing in myself and my ability to achieve my dreams. I am enough just as I am. I will be kind to myself as I'm kind to others. I will nurture myself as I nurture others. I will be optimistic about my life as I am about others' life. I know that I'm worthy like others are worthy. Those are the affirmations that I have in chapter 4. But you probably have your own affirmations. Just affirm yourself and prioritize yourself. Love yourself and know that it's okay. That oftentimes we feel guilty when we have to say no, N-O. But once you know the power of no, K-N-O-W, you'll know that it's okay to say no to some things, some people, some places. So I see, Tracy, you said you're so right. Middle school kids can be so mean, but they need all the self-esteem and affirmations from elementary all the way to high school. Amen. You're so right. Yeah. And I do, I'm going to be looking for more speaking engagements, especially at the middle school level. Again, my goal is 20 for this year. And I've already done, at the middle school level, I've done 2 schools. I spoke to one school in Michigan for 3 classes, but twice 2 of the classes came together. And I spoke to them in the library, and then I did another one in a classroom. And then in Shreveport, I was in the big auditorium, and I did the assembly style there, and I did that twice. So I am believing that I will get those other 20 speaking engagements this year in middle schools. And then, of course, I'm open and I do other speaking engagements to other organizations and other events. And I am believing that as I'm led here, that I will get, favor and divine, connections. And super excited to continue to just help others, because as I retired from IBM in August, I was being led by God that it was time for me to do something, different, and making sure that I was aligned with my purpose and what God was calling me to do. Very grateful for the great career that I had in corporate America. And when I reflect back over it, I am totally awed at all of the great opportunities and all the great people and the roles that I advanced to in corporate America. And I would have never believed a little girl like me that grew up in the hood on 77th Street in Cedar Grove in Shreveport, Louisiana, had the opportunity to advance all the way up to vice president and senior partner at a big global company, like IBM. And I'm really grateful for all of the people that helped to sponsor me, helped to mentor me, helped to coach me. And I want to just continue to pay that forward, because I don't take anything for granted. And I know that God is telling me what I'm doing now is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I now have the pleasure of helping people to become a better version of themselves through courses, through my coaching, through my books, through my speaking engagements. And I just cannot wait for you guys to go on this journey with me. So again, if you guys know of anybody, especially like, principals or people at, middle schools that may want, someone to come in to help to inspire the children, I am definitely open for those opportunities. So just, hit me up. My number is 832-969-2031. Or pass it along to, other people that, that might benefit from it. And as I've also had the opportunity to do a lot of different speaking engagements, I'm open to all, but I'm also just trying to make sure that I get those 20 speaking engagements. And many thanks to my best friend. I see she's on now. She was active in helping me land some of those engagements that I've had so far. So thank you so much. It really takes a village, and really appreciate everyone. I am happy to be home, friend. And Renee was so worried about me, Pepe. She said she almost reached out to you. And when she saw you on Facebook one day, she wanted to reach out because she didn't know that I was going on this whole 15-day travel journey. And, I was working. It started out as, work for the first, I think I left on like the 22nd. So I was working probably from the 22nd all the way to the 29th. And then after that, it was full pleasure, and I turned my phone off and totally disconnected because I had to say yes to myself, because after working really, really hard in February, that I needed some time to just, connect, because life be lifing, and you do have to just, disconnect so that you can, come back bigger, better, stronger. Look at my girl, Cheryl Wallace. Hey, Cheryl. Love you, friend. Love you, friend. Love you, friend. Cheryl is one of those friends that's a super supporter. She's one that always sends the most precious cards, always thinking about everyone. And so, Cheryl, you are just such a jewel. And of course, when she saw that I was writing a book and had a book out, she didn't just buy one. She bought, few copies of the book. And she was one of the ones that says, hey, I need it personally autographed. So that's the version I want you to send to me. So, Cheryl, thank you so much. I don't take our friendship and all of your great support for granted. And, I see my sis, Renee Cotwell, is on as well. Renee, thank you. I am always grateful, because I know that you should never take any kindness for granted. And I was in Shreveport, and I needed some t-shirts. And so I began to think about who are some resourceful people that I know. And so I reached out to my girl, my sis, and she says, she got all the details. She was coordinating all the details, and she got me someone. And I think I was probably coordinating with you like on Wednesday or something. And I was going to be in Shreveport to Monday. So I'm thinking, okay, as long as I get the shirts by Sunday. And then I think, I don't know if it was late Wednesday or Thursday, you connected me finally, once you had gotten all the details. And then you was like, okay, so your shirts will be available on Friday. And the shirts were just totally fabulous. And then on Friday, I was so busy with those. I don't know, Renee, if it was like right after those speaking engagements or what, and then we were on our way to go to one of the State of the Black Shreveport, and somehow my phone was messing up anyway. And so when your vendor finished the shirts, she couldn't reach me. So Renee connected and got the shirts for me, and then hand delivered them. I was like, look how God just lined people up. Yeah, very cute shirts. I cannot wait to show them. But yeah, very, very cute shirts. It's just, I appreciate you so very much. So, as I was talking about, my book again, it's 30 Days to Yes to Me, that came out with the paperback in January. And then in February, I came out with an ebook. And that ebook, I think, is the one that kind of took me to the bestseller level. Just, still grateful for that. And the way that their system works, you got to keep getting the sales at that level to stay on those top charts, but I just needed to get there to say that I was there. And I wanted to be a bestseller, which, just getting in the top 100. But then I could not believe that I was actually number one for, whatever hour on February 7th in the US and number 5 in the UK. And so, God keeps just showing me a lot of favor and grace. And I am, really, really thankful for all of that. And I just can't wait to see, what's next. So I will say that I've always had big goals, big dreams, and I'm going to continue to dream big. And I encourage you to dream big, dream bigger. And so being that I made the top seller in the UK and in the US, now I'm challenging myself to get on the bestseller list for Mexico, to get on the bestseller list for Canada and India. And, I have teams of people in these different places. And even though I was disconnected and I wanted to totally disconnect, and I know that my best friend Carpathia is on here and we talk all the time. And I don't know how I was able to manage without talking to her during those days. But again, even though I wasn't talking to her on the phone, she was close at heart. But I said all that to say that I continue to get so many book sales and so many people sharing that when I get back, I'm like, oh, my social media keeps growing and I haven't even been on social media. And so I do want to do a better job of being more consistent with my social media and even doing things like these live postings, even though, hey, I'm just sitting here chilling, talking about whatever. But I think it's just good to, come on to say verbally how much I really appreciate, everybody for all of the support on my book and in different facets of life. Because again, people don't have to be kind. And so I don't take anybody's kindness, for granted. And, especially, as, part of the 15-day journey was traveling for a funeral for my cousin. And the last time I was in California was in November because another person had passed in September and the funeral was in October and I didn't make the funeral. So I needed to go up to check on my cousin because it was my cousin's best friend. And now this is my cousin's brother. And this is a cousin that's very close and dear to me. She's such a sweetheart. And the last time I was in Los Angeles to check on my cousin in November because of the passing of her really good friend who was like a sister to her. Now, and I saw my cousin, her brother, and now her brother is gone. And it just reminds me that you just never know. So we need to make sure that our loved ones know that we love them. And we need to kind of make sure that we continue to make as many memories as possible because we just never know. And we just cannot take life for granted at all. And I will definitely, I want to share, I want to share at church today. I guess I don't know how to pull this up. I still got to learn how to do all this stuff. I look at my shirt. It says, yes to me, yes to me, yes to me. So we all, let's say yes to ourselves. So at church today, the pastor was talking about, how do you, talk to people that have backslidden. And so we know that we all make mistakes. We all fall short at times. And so we need to make sure that, we continuously, ask for forgiveness. But, when we know better, we try to do better. But again, we're human. So we're going to make mistakes. And I just thank God that God is faithful and he is just. And so God has been so faithful and he's been so kind to me and, my family. And I am really, really grateful that if only you guys knew the testimony, if you only knew the stories and all the things. And every time God just keeps making me bigger and better. and I am grateful for it all. Hey, Cookie, how are you? It is great to see you. Dallas, Texas in the house. I'm so excited when I got on this live. Again, I'm just on here chatting, talking about nothing of anything big except for I'm grateful, and that I wanted to just come on to just chat and do a live, and to thank everyone for the support of my book, and just, support for, any and everything. That sometimes we do small things for people. It may just be just a smile, and you never know how that might really be helping someone, because you don't know what people might be going through. And so I think if we all try to do our parts to just make this world a kinder place, this world will be such a better place. And but when I first got on, it was so interesting. I said so many people from Mobile, Alabama. So Alabama was definitely representing. And then I saw people from my hometown on. I think the first person I saw from my hometown was Pastor Al. And when I think about Pastor Al, he's one of the kindest, most genuine, consistent people that I know. I remember years and years and years ago when I had moved back to Shreveport, and my son was so little, and we had so many deaths in my family, like right after another. I remember I was working from home. I take my son to school, and as I was leaving, dropping him off from school, I get a call from my mom, and when I pull up in her driveway, she was like, "Come, I think um, something's wrong." And so when I checked on my stepdad, I said, "He's not breathing," and my stepdad had passed away. And then a month or so later, my brother gets killed, and Pastor Al was there every time for my family, especially my son. He was the youth pastor at the church that my son was baptized at, Mount Olive in Shreveport. And it was just such a blessing for him to, be that constant there, and was able to sit down and explain things, to my son. And I remember my son was like, "I don't like it here in Shreveport. Everybody's dying here." And it was just something that will always be special to me when, Pastor Al, after my stepdad died, and Pastor Al knew how close my son was to my stepdad, and then my brother get killed, Pastor Al kept showing up to be there for us. So I will be, forever grateful. Sometimes, people are doing things for you, and they may think that, oh, that's nothing, but you don't know that you might do a small gesture for someone, and how big and impactful that might be. And so I am just, grateful, and I just want to, plant more seeds of gratitude and more seeds of kindness. Again, I'm human, not perfect, make mistakes, gonna probably make some more. But I am intentionally trying to be a better person than I was the day before. And that is what I am trying to do. And I am being very intentional, very deliberate about that. And so in this phase of my life, God is calling me to make sure that I am serving others to help them to become a better version of themselves. And I'm doing that through my speaking engagements. I'm doing that through my books, doing that through my coaching, and through the company that I'm a part of called Course Crew, where I'm working with some other fabulous women, where we are delivering courses to help people to get, additional, skills, and to increase, their community reach and things of that nature. So when I look at 2024, I'm just super excited. All the things, again, I got some crazy announcements that's coming out, and some other blessings that have just been, coming my way, and just excited. And I'm here for it all. Just cannot wait to see what's next. And again, if anybody know of any, organization that might be looking for a speaker to help to inspire, motivate others, please share my contact information. I would be very interested in being considered. And I'm also, on a mission to get out to as many middle schools as possible. And so if anybody has any contacts and know where they may be looking for speakers to help to inspire any of their students, I would appreciate that. So when I think about this month of February, again, I would like to give some special thanks to people that have been very instrumental on this new journey of mine. Would like to thank Jermaine for getting me the speaking engagement at the middle school in Michigan, where I had an opportunity to speak to 3 different classes. And again, I saw Tracy mention how those middle school students can be very mean. I know that they can be very mean. And so I was just kind of wondering what type of reaction, and that if I would get the confirmation that I needed. And I've gotten the confirmation in those settings. And I would like to thank Treshelle for allowing me to be a part of her event that she did in Michigan as well, and to be able to talk about my book to pastors, to attorneys, and judges. And I met some, awesome people, and I actually sold out at that event. And it was just so interesting. I remember the first guy who bought my book said, "I'm buying your book because you mentioned you're from Shreveport and my wife is from Shreveport." Someone else said, "I'm buying your book because you talked about you started your career in the oil and gas industry, and I used to work in the oil and gas industry." Someone else said, "I'm buying your book because you said you worked for IBM and my sister used to work for IBM." So it's just all these connections for whatever your reason. If you just want to support, I appreciate it. Cookie, oh, thank you. You can purchase my book by going on to Amazon, and just go to Amazon, and you can put my name in there, Anouk McIntyre, or you can put the title of the book, 30 Days to Yes to Me, and the book will come up. I have the book in a paperback, and the paperback is $11.99, or you can get an ebook copy if you just want to have a digital version on your phone. And I will be coming out with an audio version of it. My goal is to come out, to do the recording this month. I don't know if it'll be available this month or it would be next month, but that is what's next in line. And then I also have co-authored a book with a dear friend of mine, Dina Bigham, the book is complete. It's currently in editing phase right now, where it's being reviewed for modifications. And that book is talking about, Dina and I both have had a tremendously great career in corporate America. Dina is an executive at IBM. And we had the opportunity to work together in several different capacities at IBM. And we actually have a lot of similar experiences, but also some different experiences. So we thought that if we contribute to a book together talking about you're working too hard, and it gives a lot of great tips on something that I have designed called the Thrive Method. And it gives people ideas of things of how you can be, more balanced, even in a very challenging corporate career. Because again, it can be tough to balance. But even though Dean and I came from corporate, I still feel like even if you're not in corporate, the book would be something to resonate. So the editors have the book now, and I'm hoping that in the next month or so, we will be publishing that book as well. Recently had some discussions with the publisher, so I don't know if this book will be self-published or we'll go through the traditional publishing route. But God has been so kind and continuing to open so many doors, and I'm just going to continue to speak more things in existence. I believe God is going to do some amazing things in my life in 2024 that is going to blow my mind, that I would not even believe it. And if he will do that for me, which I'm claiming this, I know he will, he can do it for you too. I strongly believe that our life is something that we have to go co-create. So whatever life we want, we can have. And if you choose not to do anything about it, you get what you get. But whatever you want, you can have. You have to definitely believe it. And of course, put God first and trust him. And I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. What did you say, sis? Renee, you definitely got my high school students on the right track at our leadership workshop at the start of the school year. Oh, that's right. Last year, I was in town for something. But you and I were talking about something else, and you were like, hey, sis, can you share some leadership tips with some of the students in an organization at your school? And of course, I'm always honored to do that, especially since it was Captain Shreve. And I happened to be in town for something else. And so I was able to do that live. So I'm glad that I was able to come there live to give them some leadership tips. And I try to break it down to something that could be things that they could actually implement at the high school level, but also could see how that can be transferable throughout their, life overall. So thank you so much. I forgot about that. That was the beginning of the school year, so last year, and I represented. I think I had my green and gold on there. I was telling people earlier, Renee, that and I don't think you went to Shreve. You teach at Shreve, but there's a whole thing about Captain Shreve and Byrd. And now my nephew is graduated from Byrd, so I have to go to a Byrd graduation. And my other cousin was on here, and I didn't even realize she had graduated from Byrd. I knew my cousin, I call him Trey, but he's known as Jericho Brown, that he graduated, from Byrd. And a couple of years ago, he received, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame at Byrd. And so I had to actually go to a Byrd function. And so I'm like, I'm at a Byrd function, but what you won't do for family. Oh, you went to Magnet High, girl. All right. I went to Middle Magnet. I almost went to Magnet High, but I really wanted to go to a school that had a football team. So that's why I went to Captain Shreve. And one thing that, I tell this story as I'm out talking to people. I used to be super shy. I know some of you guys who met me in later years probably would never believe this, but I was super, super shy. And my auntie Bobby, she had me doing speeches at churches. So I would go around being the youth speaker. And I was never shy to get up on that platform to deliver those speeches that she had eloquently written for me and I had memorized, and she taught me how to deliver that back in the day. But I was still, really shy, small, skinny girl, just shy. You talk to me, say something, I might cry. And my other best friend, Keisha's mother, Miss Clementine, talked to us when we were leaving Middle Magnet. We graduated from Middle Magnet, and we were now at Captain Shreve. And she was telling us that, you guys are smart, you have good grades, but you have to differentiate yourself. So in high school, I want you to get involved in different activities and organizations. I want you guys to run for offices, and I want you guys to make sure that you're setting yourself up for what's next so that you can make sure that you get scholarships and get into college. And so Miss Clementine, I remember her sitting us in the car telling us that. And I'm thinking, I'm so shy and skinny, I can't talk to people like that. And but I believed in being obedient. And when someone tells me what to do, and I know that it came from the right spirit and it's the right information, that I go try to execute. So I began to, and Capathia, if you're still on, this is probably how I met you at high school. I would just walk around to everybody saying, hi, my name is Anouk Renter. Renter is my maiden name. Hi, my name is Anouk Renter. Would you vote for me for Girls Vice President? And I just did that consistently. And it was really hard the first time. And it got easier and easier and easier. And again, I was just doing what Keisha's mother told me we needed to do. Keisha ran for an office as well. And again, I never thought I would win. I was just at least trying it. And I knew that even if I didn't win, at least it helped me get over that fear, that I was able to walk up to someone and just talk to them, introduce them to myself and ask them to vote for me. And I'll never forget that we were in the assembly, in a pep rally, I think, and they were announcing like all the officers and people that have won. And they were like, girls vice president, Anouk Renter. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I actually won. And that was a pivotal moment for me. That's when I began to have more confidence, knowing that I found out that, hey, it was really easy to have that conversation with people, to tell them who I was and to ask them to vote for me. And they did that. And I remember the whisper in the gym was like, that girl really won. And so super excited. And that's how I met my other best friend and a lot of other people. And from that moment on, I have never been shy again. And I continuously, ran for things all throughout my high school years. And I remember I would walk up to people and they were like, you don't have to tell me. We know to vote for you. We got you. And I really do appreciate all of that love during those Captain Street High School days. And then, as I got to college, I, kind of continued. I remember, my good friend Vince was like, hey, now that we're in college, you got to do something to differentiate yourselves, that, all these people are diligent or smart, that, we're here so that we can get a job and have a good life. And he was like, so, we got to get an internship. So that once we graduate, we have some experience to differentiate us and to be added to that resume. And I'll never forget that freshman year, he got an internship with En-ROADS. And he was like, Anouk, you need to do an internship with En-ROADS. And so when I told my grandmother says, how does this work? No, you're coming home this summer. You're not staying down in New Orleans. You're coming home for the summer. So I went back home, worked at the David Raines Center, I think, and then so I started building my grandmother up that year, that mom, now you know that I'm in college so that I can get a job or have a career. And so I need to make sure I'm positioning myself for an internship the next year. And so when the sophomore year came, Amoco was actually looking for interns, and they were looking for juniors, and I was only a sophomore. But I had asked Miss Green, who was in the placement office, I think her name was Miss Green, if I could actually just do a mock interview. And so Amoco was coming, and so she asked the Amoco recruiters if they would give me a mock interview. And so I actually was like the last person that they interviewed. Veronica Cunningham was the recruiter that interviewed. The other guy was Melvin Thayer, but I didn't interview with him. And Melvin, what I found out later was Melvin already had a candidate that he had selected. And again, they were just giving me a mock interview. But after that mock interview, there was something in me, again, God's favor, because there's nothing special about me, that God just keeps giving me favor. So she went back in to say, no, I think she's our right candidate. I know she's a sophomore versus a junior. She fought for me, and I started my corporate career as a sophomore, as an intern in Tulsa, Oklahoma, working for Amoco. And that has been just totally crazy how mock interview turned into a real job opportunity. And from that moment, when I think about my corporate career, I never changed companies. I worked 32 years in corporate America, never changed companies. The companies kept changing on me. Amoco then sold us to BP. BP sold us to PricewaterhouseCoopers. PricewaterhouseCoopers sold us to IBM. So that's how I became an IBMer. And I worked in corporate America for 32 years. Really grateful that a mock interview turned into a real opportunity, that I then was able to have an outstanding, totally blow out my mind corporate career for 32 years, where I advanced all the way to senior partner, vice president at such a global company like IBM, and have the opportunity to meet and work with some very wonderful people, learn some great skills, get some great additional certifications, and just a tremendous amount of things that's kind of really helping me in what God is having me to do in this journey of my life now. So this is my next, and I just want to encourage anyone out there just to remember, this is our lives that we should co-create the life that we want. My co-creator is with God. I don't feel like I can do anything alone, and I don't want to do it by myself. Why do it by yourself when you got him, the master that can guide you and lead you and help you? And so I thank him in advance for all the things that he has done for me. And I just cannot wait to see all the great things that he has in store for me and my family here in 2024. And I just want to encourage you, whatever your goals are, I would encourage you to dream bigger and to know that you can have whatever you want. And, pray to God, believe in God, and God will blow your mind, because our God is faithful and he is just. And I thank God for his kindness, and I thank God for all the angels that he continues to place around me. And I just want all of us to win, that I don't feel like I'm ever in competition with anyone else. I'm in competition with myself. I just want to be a better version of myself, better than I was the day before. And I'm just super excited. Again, the name of my book is 30 Days to Yes to Me, The Power of No. You can get it on Amazon. Paperback is $11.99. And the ebook version is out there too. The regular price for the ebook is $5.99, but I ran a promotional price for a little while for 99 cents. I don't think my team has gone back out there to update that price yet, so it may still be 99 cents or it may be the $5.99, but either way, it's a little cheaper than the paperback version, and it gives you that opportunity if you want to have it like on your mobile device. And then I will be coming out with an audio version soon. So you guys, let's just go do the thing. God got us. And I want all of us to prioritize ourselves and say yes to ourselves. Let's dream bigger. Let's go out to get it, because we deserve the best that we should have. Let's go be a better version of ourselves. So I'm wishing you a very awesome week. And thank you guys for joining. I just thought I would just come on here and chat with no real formality or agenda. And then as people were able to pop on, I'm hoping I saw a lot of you guys. I really do thank everyone for all of your support and continued love. And just, I pray for you. You pray for me. And let's go do it, and let's be totally wild. Thank you guys so much. God bless you.